What is going on, everyone? Welcome into another episode of Expected Bets for your go-to podcast for all things hockey betting. Betsky, we're matching today.
Yeah,
Both
I
got on
know.
our gray hoodies a little bit.
Dude,
Franco,
it got
didn't get
freezing here.
Oh,
It's
is it like 75?
64 degrees.
Oh,
64 degrees. I've never seen that.
I feel bad for you, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's 30 here today.
Dang, that's twice as cold as here.
Yeah, we have a bit of a
crazy.
heat wave, though. That's the difference. It's a little bit of a heat wave in Boston today.
In fairness, it was like 89 here last week.
Yeah.
Right. Actually, I think
I don't like that either. So
no, I'll take this any day. Feels great. I got the windows fucking open.
There you go. Beautiful.
Yeah. Great.
Oh my lord!
All right.
What?
Well, there's our winner of the day. Yeah. All right, Russ,
15.
you take that one.
Holy
about
hell.
30 degrees.
I get
here
100
in Boston,
degrees
yeah.
hotter than that. There's the full 100 swing. What he's feeling now in July, I'll be 100 degrees hotter.
Yeah. 6-game slate tonight. Bunch of news going out. Tons of storylines actually for these 6 games. We're just going to stick with the 6 tonight. I know we kind of sometimes dabble in to the Tuesday slate, but for everyone out there, we're just going to talk about tonight's slate. Wednesday, we'll probably get out a full episode, but normally on Mondays, you're kind of looking at 3 to 4 games, but with 6, we figure there's plenty to talk about, and we could start off the top. Seth Jones to Florida. Kachuk basically not coming back until the playoffs, opens up some cap room on long-term IR. Dangerous.
Convenient how that works, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Finally,
there's
some
another
other team
going
too
around
that
doing
does that.
media
Yeah. Yeah, there's another team that's done pretty well for themselves the past 2 seasons who've kind of utilized this loophole. Can't put my finger on it, but
it's not coming
to me. But love the move for Florida.
Copycat league.
Yeah, absolutely love the move for Florida. Spencer Knight in return goes to Chicago. He'll actually be making his debut tonight too, which is interesting as well. So that should be something to watch for in that King-Chicago game. Ovechkin, 11 away.
It's insane. It's going to happen.
It really is.
I didn't think it would.
We're going to see it. We're going to see it, guys.
Yeah. And even at the start of the season, I wasn't totally sure it was going to happen this year. Just because.
I thought it would take one more. I think it would be like a few games into next year.
Yeah. Wow.
It's one thing that he's going to break the record. It's also credit to Washington's management of at the start of the season, we basically thought that they brought in these guys. They were going to be kind of almost like filler pieces, right? Like just kind of make the team around Ovechkin good enough that he's going to be able to break this record. Complete opposite happens. They're a legitimate cup contender. They locked down Lindgren today as well. So they have their goaltending tandem of Thompson now, who's top 3 in the league in goals saved than expected. Lindgren's locked up. So this team is now transitioned from, oh, look, we have Ovechkin, superstar player, but we also kind of have a future moving forward too.
What happens if the Capitals win the cup this season in the debate of Crosby versus Ovi? One player has won 3 cups. The other has won 2. One set the all-time goal record in the NHL, where the other one was probably a top 10 player of his position of all time.
It's a weird debate. Because stats-wise, Ovechkin's going to have the goal record. but almost as an overall player and leader, I think Crosby gets the advantage in that category.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if Ovechkin wins a cup this year and breaks the record,
yeah, it's crazy. I mean, they're so different. They're such different styles of player too. So that's what makes it difficult to compare them.
Yeah.
International play, Crosby scoring the golden goal.
Yeah,
and having junior championship, Olympics. I think he has pretty much all three of them now.
Yeah.
So,
and don't forget the Four Nations trophy, which I'm sure is one of his
All-Star game. Yeah, Canada won the All-Star game. You forget about that.
Yeah.
More people though have Crosby on their, let's say, Mount Rushmore of hockey players than Ovechkin.
For sure. And I think even if they don't win it this year, it needs to be more. I think there should be more discussion around it. But
what would your argument for Ovechkin over Crosby be? Just stats based?
That he's potentially the best pure goal scorer we've ever seen in the sport.
Yeah.
I mean, goal wise, again, we're talking about two different players. We're talking about playmaker.
Yeah.
Versus a goal scorer. You can't.
But Obi kind of turned into a power forward too. Like he was kind of all flash, all goals.
But he used to lay hits. He used to lay hits a lot. When he was young.
When he was in his tinted visor era of yellow laces, tinted visor, dangerous man on the ice.
Yeah.
I guess he's always kind of been that.
Yeah, he's always been like that. Like he was never like a soft Russian.
No. He
wasn't. He
never even contention. Yeah.
I guess here. Wait, let me rephrase that. He's gotten better on his two-way play though throughout the years, particularly once Trotz came in and he kind of became more of a competitor.
Yeah.
I think his overall image has been better too in the past few seasons. It seems like he's gained more popularity with the fans as well, even though I'm not really sure why he was ever kind of looked down upon.
Yeah, he's
just because they always choked in the playoffs.
Yeah.
They had their struggles for a while before that win.
Jack Hughes doesn't look good. Brutal collision with Eichel. I don't think anyone's blaming Eichel for that one. It looks like they kind of just got tangled up in front of the net. We'll see what happens with that. I know they have there's no real news on his timetable, I guess. The initial report today was that it's not as bad as it seemed. But again, you're like, what does that mean?
Yeah, there's not a lot of games left. I mean,
no.
Even if he misses half of them, that's a lot for their playoff push. I mean, I saw Ched saying to take Devils to miss the playoffs today. So,
I mean, someone hack his account?
No, he's serious. I mean, they're a different team. It's like how they were a different team without Hischier for that week or so.
Yeah,
I mean, they don't have enough pop without those guys. So I could see that offense struggling again. They were struggling before Hischier came back, and then I could see that being a problem again. So I'm looking to fade the Devils in these next couple of games without Jack.
Yeah. Trade deadline 3 p.m. on Friday. Lots of pieces that could get moved here. It's going to be interesting to see where everyone ends up. I know Rantanen is somehow back on the trading block, but I doubt that he really makes that they allow him to go anywhere. But I don't know any other kind of
if he won't resign. If he won't resign, I mean, come on, you got to get something for him, right? You're really going to just run it and hope for the best as Carolina.
Man,
that's brutal.
Yeah.
Look, Ched's is in the chat. He says Jack has been on the ice for 23 of the last 28 goals scored by the Devils. So there you go.
That's crazy.
Wow.
I was waiting for Picklets to get in here too. I have some more Vancouver hate stats, but as soon as I see his name pop up in the chat, I'll let that go. But I have a few ready for today.
Maybe let's save that one where JT Miller has more points than.
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll save that one.
That's my favorite one. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's not say it yet.
Okay. Don't say that one though. Yeah. Any other news that you guys want to talk about today?
I mean, the biggest one we've heard for weeks now. Alimata, 3-year contract extension with the Utah Hockey Club. Yeah.
Huge news.
Oh,
huge.
How did that not make the storylines today?
Don't forget too, Riley Smith is going to be scratched tonight because he might be traded. I know that's on the big board as well.
Mm-hmm.
Nice,
everybody's waiting with bated breath to see where Riley Smith is going to end up today.
I was looking for his props today. Yeah.
Brock Nelson plays his 900th game today. Another notable storyline today too.
Is that real? All right, we got to hammer some of his props.
B. Nelson props. Yeah, he's actually been firing. So why don't we?
He screwed me the other night, but yeah, he might be in my personal jail cell. But yeah, maybe I'll go back to him tonight. We had this debate in our group chat today. You can see our intelligence level of the in-depth NHL conversations that we have of the spelling of Tyler Toffoli. Betsky brought this up earlier, and Betsky, I don't know if you want to. I'll give you your 3 minutes to rant on this.
Yeah, well, I feel like every time I'm writing his damn name, I add an extra F or L, or both, and it's so rare that I get it correct. And when you think about it, and if you're in the chat without looking it up, A, B, or C, pick which way you think it's spelled. But when you say it out loud, it's Toffoli, right?
Toffoli.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're not getting too many people putting it in, but just as a sneak peek here, it is number 2 here, which to me is
it doesn't look right.
Toffoli would be number 2, but you say it Toffoli, 1 F, 2 L's, but no.
Everybody's getting in the chat. That's
yeah.
No, I agree. I do the same thing. I type it. I'm like,
they cheat at bar trivia too. I can see it. See it now.
It is B for everyone out there wondering, but yeah, that's a good point. Dreisaitl's another one too that trips me up.
I got that one down.
Yep.
No, that one I got down.
That one's easy. Bukestad.
Niederreiter.
Yes, Niederreiter with the I and the E. Yes, that's a great one.
E before I there, or I before E there?
The first one is I before E, and then the second one is E before I, for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cap's got me on the.
Vasilevsky is a good one. Ski.
I don't even bother.
Hellebuck, I always spell wrong. Hellebuck, I always spell wrong.
Looked up every time. I don't even try.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of a few other ones. Yeah.
I'm sure they'll come. Lafreniere, I've gotten down.
I think I got that one. Do you know how to spell Hellebuck though?
Hellebuck.
Do you know where the Y goes?
Hellebeuy.
There's the Y in there for no reason.
Verhaeghe took a minute. Verhaeghe took a minute.
Yeah, that's another good one.
Yeah, Laferriere is awful. Yeah. Mostly because of Lafreniere.
It's very true. All right. Well, that was our spelling segment of the day. So I guess we're gonna move on here. Any other guys we want to talk about before we move on?
No. Well, it will come.
That was it. All right. All right. First game up on the board: Ottawa at Washington. Ottawa plus 124. Washington minus 148. Total set at 5.5 minus 118. As always, all of our odds are on DraftKings. New customers get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Ottawa 1-5 in their last 6, won their last game against San Jose. Washington on a 3-game losing streak. Betsky, I'll throw it to you in this one. Any plays for you in Ottawa, Washington?
Well, I mean, I just don't know why you don't go to Ovechkin, your team, the easiest play of the night up to me. Great odds again.
That would be fun.
Yes, we will have to do this.
All right, Chads.
Chop Props did that once with me and Spittin, and he can come up with some good ones for us if we need it. If we need a third party to create the names or the questions, but I'm going back to Ovechkin. I just don't care. I mean, minus 115. If we're talking at this, if it was minus 140, yeah, maybe I'd think about it. But Ottawa's allowing a lot of shots again. They're a little bit of a spicy team. They got some big boys that hit. That means you could be getting power play time. Ovechkin has 13.5, I believe, shot attempts over the last 5 games. I mean, it's yeah. And then Brady to check shots look great as well. I definitely agree, but Ovechkin's the way. Now, Chabot looks really, really good at plus 145-ish, just for like maybe a value play. His attempts are through the roof. I think he's hit in 5 straight, if I remember correctly. Again, you're kind of just going blindly. I'm sorry, he's hit in 7 straight, but you're kind of going blindly
Shots.
with
You're
the
talking
shots and the
shots.
volume here. Yes, I'm not so concerned with the opponent at this point because he had 9 attempts against Winnipeg, 10 against San Jose. I throw that out, but 12 against Tampa at one point, and 6 against Florida, kind of all within the last 5 games. So the dude's just firing. I believe his minutes had kind of cranked when Sanderson was sitting out a little bit right after the break, but they were still pretty high right before there too. Now he did drop down to 20 minutes against San Jose versus kind of the 25 he was reaching at before, but he still had plenty of attempts against San Jose. Again, plus 145 for 3 shots with a guy who has been firing. If the streak ends tonight, you can blame it on me, but I think it's worth a sprinkle.
I have two wait, there's more. So Washington, 8th most shots on goal to defensemen in the last 10. Thomas Chabot 3+ is up to plus 155 on DraftKings.
Wow.
I mean, that price alone, I feel like you had to take it, right?
Yep.
Given his recent form.
I love the Ovechkin look. Had him circled as well. The 2 main spots in this game to target were Ottawa Senators defensemen and Washington Capitals forward. So both line up with that. Franco, any plays for you in this one?
Yeah, I love Brady and Ovi. I think those are the 2 you'd go to. I don't really want to take a side here. My initial lean was Washington, but
yeah,
I mean, the Senators need wins now, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's kind of leapfrogged them. They're officially out of the playoffs as of right now, but I mean, plenty of time left, but they got to start stringing wins together. And, Washington's in a little bit of a funk the last few. So maybe this is a game they can jump on them and get them at the right time. So I'm kind of getting mixed signals either way. I think we could see goals going both ways, though, even though this does feel like more of an under type of game just on the surface. But yeah, I think Ovi shots for sure, Brady shots for sure. You can do them each at 3 for around minus 130, which I don't feel like is bad either, just to give yourself a little safety in case one comes up short. I don't mind Pinto as well. His point prop has been awesome recently, hitting 7 of his last 10. So maybe look there as well. That's plus 165 for his point, which seems like ridiculous.
No love for Connor McMichael tonight.
What,
over
shots?
1.5 shots. Yep. Hitting 5 straight games against Ottawa. Has hit in 3 of 6 at home this season. He's hit at a 64.5% rate. On the road, that drops down to 48.3. Getting it a pretty bettable number to minus 135 on DraftKings. On FanDuel, that's up to minus 140. So I'm adding him to my card in addition to Chabot and Ovechkin. But I like him tonight just based on the home and away splits and great matchup for Ottawa. So those are the 3 shots on goal props that I have in this one.
Wait, you're not taking Brady?
Oh, yeah, maybe I will add him too. Brady.
It's a nice slate. It's a really nice slate.
Yeah, there's a few others on the short list too that I had. Jake Sanderson 2+ is going to be a parlay piece, but that looks pretty good as well. John Carlson 2+, another parlay piece that I like, and then Alexei Protas 2+ is another one that I had circled, but I don't think. Yeah, maybe. Dylan Strome too is also hitting 6 of his last 7. Any thoughts on Strome tonight? Missed last game
with as many as we have for this game. I don't know why I want to bet Dylan Strome. Just
54.8% at home this season, 65.5 on the road. So that's kind of why I stayed away. But all right. Any points bets tonight? PLD Franco doesn't look terrible. You gonna do it?
I don't mind it, but I think you look at OV goal And like I said, I like Pinto on the other side as far as just the value on him. I don't know. The more I think about it, I kind of lean the over here because of that necessary urgency, like Exotic is saying in the chat for Ottawa. I mean, they need to win games. You don't win games as Ottawa against this team 2-1. So you're gonna have to score 3 or 4 in this game if you're Ottawa. So I could see goals. Thompson hasn't looked particularly great the last few, so we could see it happen.
All right. Any other bets before I move on to the Islanders Rangers?
One other quick note: chicken revenge here. If you believe in revenge,
he just has no revenge. He has no hate,
no dog. He's got no dog in him.
No,
he was the one I had circled, and I looked at everything. I'm like, no, nothing pops.
Yeah,
no shots, no points.
So I've seen Ched's brought up Allmark saves.
Interesting.
Yeah, like I wonder, does as much as we're making an argument for the Sens needing a little bit of urgency, how much does Washington feel a little bit of pressure to kind of get back to winning after a couple losses? So yeah, I mean, you could see that. You could see a lot of saves for Allmark if they're firing.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it up right now. Pretty good track record on the road.
And if Ottawa's allowing the 4th most shots against over the last 10.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Line mate crashed. Perfect. Lovely. All right. Thank God I have all my props written down. All right. Next game up. Islanders, Rangers. Rangers -112. Islanders -108. Total set at 5.5. -125 to the over. Franco, we're going to start with you in this one. Any looks in the Battle of New York?
I mean, my first, I kind of have 2 leans on the side / total here. I kind of lean the over, just given what we saw in the last game. I think the Islanders give a little bit more than they did in the previous matchup. I think 5.5 feels a little low, just given what we've seen. I know the Rangers kept it under the last game, but now they're on a back-to-back. And I kind of lean Rangers money line -110. I feel like it's a little low. I know they've been a team to fade overall over the last couple of weeks, but I mean, what gives you any kind of love for the Islanders on the road? I don't know. It feels a little short on the Rangers to me, so kind of lean there. Palmieri is the main guy I had circled for props, for shot prop at least.
Yep.
Obviously, his 1.5 is juiced to high hell, but I think you just take him up to 3 and maybe sprinkle his 4. Just given his head-to-head matchup against them, he's hit 4 and 3 straight against them, and overall he's hit 3 or more in 5 of his last 6. So he's been firing a ton. I know we talked about Nelson being his recent form, and what did you say it was his 900th game, I guess?
Yes.
So I might add him as well. Always been a big Brock Nelson kind of fan, so
once he gets going, he's like you put a quarter in him and he just starts going for a while, and it seems like we may have gotten to that point with him.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely a little funky as far as like his streakiness, but I mean, even his point prop looks really good tonight. I know it's -145, but he has points in 5 straight, including a 3 and a 2-point game in there. So maybe do a little bit of sprinkling all throughout. He had 2 goals his last game too, so maybe it's all kind of clicking right with him now, and culminating for this game.
Great history against the Rangers too.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, these teams play each other 1,000 times over his career. So, points in 6 straight against them. A couple of multi-point games there too. So, I think there's an argument to be made to just kind of, maybe sprinkle his point, sprinkle his shots. Maybe you do like 2 shots and a point or something to get that juice down a little bit. I don't really love laying -145 on a Brock Nelson point, or maybe stack him with his line mate or something.
Yeah, I don't hate that at all. Not exactly the most ideal shots on goal matchup, right? In the last 10, Islanders and New York are bottom tier for forwards and defensemen, but I do like that Palmieri play. Maybe you can parlay him with someone in another game. Betsky, any looks for you in Islanders, Rangers?
Yeah, I had Nelson circled too, even before I realized it was his 900th.
Huge milestone.
Yeah, Palmieri's been great too. I don't know. I'd feel a lot more comfortable just taking him towards that 1.5, even though recently it looks like you could easily bump him up to 3 if you want to take that, or maybe even ladder it a little bit. JT Miller, man. Speaking of Tyson's favorite, just a wrecking crew lately, and has never lost the assignment as a ex-Rangers about beating down on the Islanders. Has a 0.7 straight against the Isles. It's definitely a parlay piece there at -170, but also there's pretty nice value on the Rangers money line here.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I can't believe it's -110.
It's
I mean,
crazy.
What the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
Isles have won 2 straight. Rangers 6-4 in their last 10. These teams did just play a little over a week ago, with the Rangers winning 5-1.
And then Zibanejad, another more of a parlay piece here, -160 for a point, but has hit 9 of his last 10. 5 of those games were multi-point games. Has hit 10 of 13 against the Islanders, with 8 straight.
I like it. Any other plays for you guys?
You know, you can always try to just stack with line mates here too. And Miller and Zibanejad are together, actually.
Yeah, I didn't have too much in this game, but last call.
No,
yeah, how are we feeling about Keandre Miller? I know we talked about him last time.
Yeah, that was an easy bet, and I just didn't take it. Right, everything lined up with Fox being out. Just take his shots, and he went and hit. I think
me and Franco may have kind of talked you out of it, unfortunately.
He's -154.
He hit in his last 2 games with Fox out. 3 shot on goals on 5 attempts versus Toronto, and then 2 shots on goal on 3 attempts versus Nashville. Head to head, it's 3 of 6 or 7. But yeah, I don't know. I don't hate it.
Yeah.
Any other?
I don't mind his point.
Guys? Yeah,
at +160. I mean, again, he's on the top power play, right? No, they moved Zach Jones
on the
up.
Second.
Stupid bullshit. All right.
Cooley doesn't look bad either.
Yeah,
-150, hitting 4 straight. Hit in 4 of his last 6 versus the Islanders, and has a pretty decent track record at home.
It's insane how different this team looks.
What, the Rangers?
Yeah.
From the start of the season.
That's weird.
Holy cow. I mean, it looks like you're going into like a new season. It's shocking.
Do we think the banner was the reason?
No.
It all started when they announced they were regular season champions.
I don't.
You got to ask the tough questions.
Yeah.
Why don't they give us Zach Jones power play point props? Some BS. I just checked the sites that have it. They don't have them. Come on, man.
All right. Tampa Bay at Florida. Tampa Bay +124, Florida -148. Total set at 5.5, -118 to the over, -102 to the under. Ton of props in this one. Seth Jones making his debut on the Florida Panthers. Going to play on the second line with Mikkola and the second power play unit. His point is currently +120. Any takers?
Yeah. Maybe.
Okay.
That was it?
I'll give it a game, especially with how good Vasilevsky's been playing. But this is going to be awesome. I mean, I feel like we've seen Tampa and Florida play really late in the season pretty frequently, like nearly every single year. It feels like we get a really late in the season matchup with these two teams, and they're always cash cows. I remember maybe it was 2 seasons ago they did one of the home versus home, and I feel like that was when Stamkos was like getting 2 points a night, and the shots were just off the chart. And this is going to be a fun game. And we're getting some interesting looking shots props tonight too, just with Matthew Tkachuk being out. So lots of different ways to take it. I don't know. I want to say it's going to probably be a lower scoring game, but I'm not willing to take a side on the total here.
Yeah, Tampa Bay on an 8-game winning streak, Florida 8-2 in their last 10, and they're on a 3-game winning streak of themselves. Plenty of props tonight. Betsky, I know you're on one shots on goal prop that I'm on as well of Sam Miskevich. That's another great name for the spelling bee.
I think it's fairly phonetic.
Yeah, that one's straightforward.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
First rounder. Get the toes wet a little bit. Yeah, a little warm up. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's been getting more minutes. He's on the top power play now. You can get him at 1.5. Man, he was minus 140 this morning, but it looks like he's closer to minus 150 now. Averaging 5 shot attempts over the last 10 games. Some of those were with Tkachuk when he was playing on lower down in the lineup. And then recently, the past 3 games, he's only hit that out of the last 4 since the break, he's hit it 2 out of those 4, but has had really nice shot attempts. And again, the big bump on the top power play unit with the news that Matthew Tkachuk is going to be out for the rest of the regular season. This is a really big audition for him. And what bigger game than against the division rivals? And it seems like he's really on a shoot first line with Sam Bennett and Erod right now, who has also been just lighting it up with the shot department. Sam Bennett, we don't even need to talk about, even though I don't necessarily love him at 3.5. I don't hate it.
2.5 is a parlay piece. That's unbelievable.
Yeah,
but yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, he's had 5 in his last 2 games, and he has that potential. But yeah,
he's hit 5. He's hit his 3.5 line in 6 out of the last 10 home games too. So I think you could kind of run a little thing where it's Sam Miskevich, Erod, and Bennett at 2 and 3 for Bennett, and then bump them all up by 1 just for.
That sounds fun. I like that.
Yeah. For
Erod's been like our son that is like transformed into like a shots on goal, like actual player rather than just backing him against his former teams. He's transformed into our own eyes of now he's like a real person and can actually hit his target line against any team he wants to rather than
he's been on
the
fire.
Sabres or the Penguins. It's unbelievable.
But we still take the bill when we take him out for dinner. Don't
It's
we don't trust it quite yet. It's like
we don't
for the tip.
Yeah, that's fair.
Let me pick up the tip at least 7.
He'll grab like drinks at the bar afterwards.
Yeah,
he'll get drinks at the bar.
You can get the first round of drinks. We'll get the dinner.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. Sam Reinhart, not exactly as dominant as he has been last year, but look at his last 3 games: 5 on 8, 3 on 9, 3 on 3. He's starting to pick it up as well. Great history against Tampa Bay, hitting in 6 of his last 8. And he is a home dog, I believe. Pulling it up now at home, 48.4%. The numbers look a lot better in his last 10. On the road, 50%. So not exactly, but I don't mind him at 2.5 tonight. Minus 115 on DraftKings. Minus 110, even better. So I am going to play Reinhart tonight as well, in addition to Sam Miskevich. Franco, any looks for you?
Why are we talking about taking Tampa money line at plus 135? I just feel like it's gone too far. I think when I looked at it originally, last night, this has to stop. When I looked at it originally, I think Florida was minus 120, minus 125 last night.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's minus 155. I don't get it. I understand that, Tampa's worse on the road, but they're like hardly on the road. It's like they're literally like in the same state. And Florida's been good at home, but this is an even matchup. This should be like minus 110 either way. I feel like maybe a little bit of a lean towards Florida because of the home, but not to this extent. So to me, I think you ride with the hot team. Like you said, was it 8 straight games for Tampa?
Correct.
I tried to fade them the other day against the Caps, thinking it was the get right spot for the Caps. Tampa was going on the road. This was a perfect spot, and it was just a sound defensive effort. They just shut down the Caps and took it. So yeah, I just think this should be closer to even, and I'm seeing minus 135 or plus 135 on some books, so I'm going to grab it at that number. I feel like it's good enough to take given their recent form. So don't know about the total though. I feel like we could see an under, we could see an over. I think it could go either way. I don't want to be involved there. I like Nick Paul points plus 150. Looks really good. He's hitting 8 of his last 10, 3 straight on the road. So, and he has 5 points in his last 6 games overall as well. So he's been kind of heating up overall. I like that a lot. I do like the Bennett taking him down to 3 a lot. I think that's a great piece for parlays. So maybe we can put that in our parlay for the show or something. And yeah, I like the Mackey looks. I think Mackey's worth a look for points as well, just given these on the top power play. I mean, it's like he can almost accidentally, just get a touch and get one in. So I think getting him at plus 155, given the line mates he plays with on the even strength and on the power play are worth it. So I like his shot prop as well. I think it's worth it. I love that 2 for him, 2 for Erod, and 3 for Bennett. I think I'm going to run that for sure because that just sounds like a fun time. So. Yeah, this should be a hell of a game. To me, this is hands down the game of the night.
Yeah.
I mean, Ottawa, Washington, they actually kind of did this well. Ottawa, Washington starts at in half an hour. So any bets you have on that one, be sure to get those in shortly. And then we got 7s and 9s starting times. Any other looks for you guys in this one?
No. I mean, it's one of those games, especially in the shot department. This is a type of game to take a swing. Kucherov at 2.5 is what they're offering, and that looks fantastic too. I feel like we haven't really talked about him as a shooter recently, but he has hit his 2.5 in 7 out of the last 10, and against Florida, that goes up to 11 out of the last 19 games against them, with 10 of those games being 4+. So again, if you want to make a big same game parlay type, cast a big net and see if you can get it right, this is kind of the game to circle and do that with tonight. But
so Franco, you said Bennett at 2.5, Erod at 1.5,
and Mackey at 1.5.
Samoskevich at 1.5 too. Okay.
Well, Besky, I'll give credit to Besky. He brought up first.
And Bennett too. Bennett at 2.5.
Yeah, Bennett 2.5. And then
Erod
those
at
2 guys at 1.5. At 1.5. Yeah.
Erod and Samoskevich at 1.5. I like it.
It feels safe,
And then you are adding Seth Jones point, correct or no?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was a timid yes at the start. So I need the people want to know, are you on Seth Jones point tonight?
Shit. I don't know. I kind of like his shots a little more, to be honest with you. I was looking at that when you guys were talking. He's set at 1.5. It's juiced, but I mean, this is a guy that we've known to fire over his career. He's coming into a new role. He wants to show his value. I could see him firing the puck a ton tonight. So you're getting his 1.5 a bettable number. Maybe you take him up to 3 and even 4 just to see what happens. I know he hasn't really been hitting those numbers, but just given the scenario of just, hey, I'm on this new team, I got to provide that, prove I'm valuable. And frankly, like, I could see a situation where he gets top power play minutes at some point during this game.
Yeah.
Like I guarantee 100% he will be in the weeks to come. But I could see, if they get like 3 or 4 power plays tonight, like that second or third power play, they start with him on the top line just to see how he works out on it. I don't think Ekblad's going to be long for that role, to be honest with you. So if that's the case, I like it even more for his shots and maybe for that point. But I think the shots have a little bit more safety. Let's put it that way.
I like it. Next game up, Buffalo at Montreal. Montreal minus 122, Sabres plus 102. Total set at 6.5. Even money to the over, minus 120 to the under. Another game where there's just tons of props. Sabres on a 2-game losing streak. Montreal, opposite of that, on a 4-game winning streak since the break. These teams did just play in their last matchup, which I guess is some concern. Montreal won 4-2. Franco, we'll start with you. Any looks in Sabres Habs?
So as far as sides and totals go, like I kind of leaned towards Buffalo, to be honest with you, just given the, quick rapid revenge, whatever you want to call it. But, looking at Buffalo's road numbers and they're horrendous. I think it was like 9-18 or something like that. I don't know, man. And money's moving towards Montreal at this point. I think it was a pick 'em earlier today. So yeah, I can't lay any kind of, I don't want to take either side. Let's put it that way, but I don't want to be taking Buffalo. Let's be honest here. This team
I'm
just
talking off the ledge. Don't do it.
This is one of those things though. Like watch tomorrow, we're going to look at the score line and Buffalo wins like 4-2. And we're all laughing because it's like, oh, Buffalo is plus money and we could have just taken it. But this is the type of game that Buffalo wins for no reason, right? Like it.
Yeah, it is. But at the same time, too, it's also a game where they could get blown out.
Oh yeah,
8-1, and Tuck's gone tomorrow, and so is Peterka, and then we're rebuilding.
Hey, I mean, these guys are playing for.
Why not? Yeah,
these guys are playing for. They're playing for getting traded at this point, right? Like if you're Tuck,
so stupid.
You're gonna show out tonight
stupid.
to trade me to the Rangers, baby. Come on for Riley Smith. Nice.
No, we don't need any more picks or prospects.
No, you need Riley Smith. He's gonna bring you across the line. But I kind of lean the over here. I feel like there should be goals. I don't love the 6.5. Maybe I'll wait in game, see if I can get a 5.5. I think there should be goals. I think the obvious play is Hudson Point. Assist if you want to go a little more, get a little more value, I guess. But yeah, I think you can go a ton of different ways. I don't want to just take all the angles here tonight, but I think there should be goals. I think there's plenty of angles to look at in the point prop market. So take value where you can. I think both teams can score at least 2 to 3 goals here. So should be back and forth fun there. And yeah, I'll let you guys talk about the shots, I guess. Go for
it. The one play I do like on Montreal side is a Caulfield Suzuki point parlay that gets you even money. It's not a bad look. You have the same line correlation on the first line of the power play. So I like that. Before we get into this, did you guys have any plays in Islanders Rangers?
Zvanajan plus JT Miller point is like plus 104 if you stack it. And then I think we all at least like Brock Nelson shots to an extent, whether or not people are on it or not. I'm using it in a parlay, but
yeah, I like Nelson shots. I like Palmieri shots.
Great. I like Palmieri all the way to 3 or 1.5.
Yeah, I like the 2 as a parlay piece, and I like the 3 and maybe sprinkle as 4. And I don't mind looking at like a Nelson point. Maybe you do Nelson Palmieri point or something because they're correlated on their lines and the power play units. So I don't really like laying the minus 145, but I do lean over there in general as well.
I know you mentioned Lane Hudson point too, but line 8 point looks pretty good as well. He's hitting 4 straight against the Sabres and overall, and pretty good record at home. So and you're getting that at minus 110 tonight, I want to say. Yeah. So I really like line 8 point. Yep. Yeah. Betsy, I'll let you go first here. What are you looking at in Buffalo, Montreal?
I actually don't have too much. I like the line 8 point a lot. I think that's worth playing as a straight. I like Tuck more the parlay piece territory, especially with his history against Montreal. I like that Lane Hudson point as well. I think there's just a lot of value on it right now, and he seems to be heating up. If you like that Caulfield Suzuki top line, Slavkovsky had 4 points straight and then missed against Buffalo last game. Seems like he's slightly better at home, hitting at 52% instead of 39% on the road. He's minus 108 for a point. So if you think that top line can be productive, that's a nice way to find a little more value. I do kind of lean Buffalo here just because of the home to home aspect of this and Buffalo losing last game. I think Darlene point looks great as a parlay.
Yep.
I That's
Tuck
two of us
point,
taking
too.
Buffalo right now.
Yeah,
You
Tuck
don't
point.
realize that. That's two of us saying we like Buffalo.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are right. Like it lines up because there is no logic behind it, and I think that's what makes the most sense about this Buffalo Sabres team is you back them when they shouldn't win. Yeah. So no, I understand it. Yeah, it makes sense to me.
But yeah,
I hate this
game's
team.
a little bit harder to find like standalone values. So I think there's more things that I like a lot in this are more like parlay pieces, or they're right around that area. The problem with Buffalo too is I don't feel like they're as easy to stack players with. You know, I don't want to just go Tage and Peterka because they're on the same line, because Tage has been cold as hell. But
they also
Peterka has a
Lindy flips them quick.
Yeah.
Like during the game, they're flipped all the time. You mentioned this guy before, Slavkovsky, at over 1.5 shots on goal. So he's hitting 4 straight. Attempts aren't the greatest, but against the Sabres, he has hit in 6 of 8. And at home, he has been better than on the road. And you're getting that at
plus 102. That has some nice value.
Yep. So Slavkovsky for 2 shots on goal. I'm definitely adding.
He has not had more than 4 straight this entire season, and he had 4 straight earlier in the season. But I think
goes back. That goes back to our pattern talk last episode.
I know. And what I was about to say is I'm totally comfortable with him getting past that this time, because it seems like he's very dialed in right now. It seems like Montreal is dialed in considerably right now too. They're fully healthy, so I don't mind it.
And around this 4 to 5 game stretch, you normally see a guy's numbers start to dip to that minus 130, minus 125 range too, of the books trying to catch on to him. It's not happening here. So you're still getting some pretty good value at plus 102 on him. So I don't mind him at all. Brendan Gallagher's shots doesn't look bad as well. I'm trying to pull it up now, but I had that on my short list. Gallagher's hitting 4 of his last 5 head-to-head, has hit in, let me see, 6 of his last 10 against Buffalo, and I think he's a pretty big home dog, if I'm correct. 67% at home. On the road, 51%. The issue is
he's like still a player.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, since you're dropping Brendan Gallagher props, I'm going to drop another ridiculous name that Betsy's going to say that I can't believe he's still a player. This player has 3 goal in 3 straight against Buffalo.
Is he an ex-Sabre?
No. And he scored his last game against them and has a goal in 2 of his last 4 games. He's plus 550 for a goal, so I'm very intrigued. Even though he has been around for way too long, it feels like, at least. His name is Josh Anderson. So we're dropping Brendan Gallagher. I'm gonna one up you here and tell you to take a sprinkle on Josh Anderson's score goal. 3 straight games against this team. So obviously there's something in the water. I don't know what it is.
We did bring him up earlier too in this matchup of Tuck being on that trade rumor list for a point. He's minus 150, but if you look at his goal, he's hitting 5 of his last 6 games.
Yeah, and he's like near the top of expected goals for lately. So that's one reason why I like his point quite a bit tonight.
That was Tuck, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not as juicy as your 550, but still some value on it, you know.
Yeah. Don't mind it.
Okay.
All right. San Jose at Toronto. Toronto minus 345. San Jose plus 75. Total set at 6.5. Even money to the over. Franco, drum roll, please. Should any team be minus 345 in a game?
Never, ever. So I'm gonna run back to what we saw. Well, all right, hold on.
Are you doing it?
This is the take with caution thing or
okay, here we
wait
go.
for the news. So Celebrini's game time decision. So that it kind of hinges on that for me. But that angle that's been working for these games is to target these dogs in the first period in some sort of way. So you can do it one or two ways. One way is to just take their first period money line. And if it's a 1-1 draw or nothing draw, you get your money back. Or you can take their first period team total over 0.5 goals, and usually that's around even money. Tonight on MGM, it's -105 for the Sharks. But again, I want to make sure that Celebrini is in. This team has been feisty enough. I feel like they've been scoring goals, so I think I want to go with that angle as opposed to the +220 for them to win the first period. But I don't mind it either way. If just I want to make sure he's in first before I do it. But I think that's the way to target these dogs in these spots, because I think 160 minutes, at a full 60 minutes of a game, the cream rises to the top, so to speak. So if it's tight late, Toronto's going to end up winning it when it really comes down to it. It's kind of like that Pittsburgh game where it went to overtime and Toronto finished it right away. We saw it with the Canes yesterday as well. Went to overtime, they finished it right away. So I don't want to be holding a San Jose money line ticket and seeing that happen. The game goes to overtime. I'm like, oh great. I'm hopefully San Jose can get it up. They just scored already 5 seconds in the overtime. Okay, thanks. So yeah, I think targeting these dogs early is the way to go. And there's a little bit of safety to an extent, when taking a dog and taking that first period money line. +220 it looks like a nice price, or like I said, take their team total. But I need Celebrini news first.
So Exotic put this in the chat too, and I did want to touch on it. Cousins has gone over this 1.5 in 9 of his last 10 against Montreal. Suzuki's also hit that 2+ in 9 of his last 10 against Buffalo. The issues is Cousins has been a lot better at home this season too. That was kind of the same angle that I had with Owen Power. Listed at 1.5 today, much better at home. I don't mind them, either of them, Cousins or Power, but that is something to note, that their home and away splits are noticeable. I think Suzuki, everything looks good. I'm trying to check his home and away splits right now, but I think they all line up 67% at home, 62% on the road. Yeah, I like Suzuki, but again, it's just not bettable at a straight. San Jose first period money line. You cashed Chicago the other day too on that first period money line, so that was a great call. So I like that theory of just taking them early and then enjoying the rest of the game.
Yeah, I've done it with Calgary the last 2 days. They drew both, so I just got my money back. It's not a bad way to dip your feet into the underdog waters without going full risk. Let's put it that way. You have a little bit of protection.
You still have a life jacket on. Yeah. Betsky, any looks for you in San Jose, Toronto? I have nothing in this one.
I've been getting kind of wrecked by Toronto. I wish I was on those games yesterday. I kind of just took the day off though. But it seems like Toronto kind of woke up there. But otherwise, they've been kind of like you pick guys from one line and the other line goes off and vice versa. I was kind of eyeballing Matty Nyes tonight, but and as stupid as it is, he literally has only one time had more than a 3-game point streak this season, and of course it's against San Jose. So I think I don't mind it. -135 is like right around my limit there. Great opponent, but you better hope it's that top line that's going off tonight then. But under the same breath, Mitch Marner at 2 points at +130 and Austin Matthew at +135 for 2 points. Both feel pretty decent. Neither of them have great history against San Jose, and I'm assuming that's because the amount of games I'm seeing.
Which is weird, right?
Yeah, but I mean, are these games just like done by the time they get going? And I don't know.
Yeah.
Or you could do Nyes with 1 point by Marner or 1 point by Matthews, or maybe all three for a point to get some extra value. But again, that you're kind of hoping that that's the line that is productive tonight then. But I don't know. I wasn't too crazy about this game. Our spelling bee champ, Tyler Toffoli, because that's how it should be said phonetically. His shots look all right. They look okay.
Yeah.
Minus 105.
Just
hit 7 of his last 10. They look okay.
Just a reminder, Ottawa and Washington starts shortly in like 5 minutes. So be sure to get those bets in. It is before 7. Just a reminder, I think we're all on Ovechkin shots on goal, Brady Tkachuk shots on goal. I have McMichael shots on goal and Thomas Chabot shots on goal. Did I miss any that we liked?
I added Shabbat as well, so I like that. Sprinkling Pinto goal is the only other thing, but that's more of a long shot. So,
all right. I just wanted to make sure we got those in before puck drop. Any other looks for you, Franco, in this one? Or
can I interest you guys in a Nick Robertson or Pontus Holmberg goal?
I'll hear you out.
All right, so Robertson's missed his last 2, but before that, he had 3 goals in 2 games. His last game against San Jose, he had a goal. So I think there's a little bit of reason to kind of go back to him. He's been flying around. It feels like looking good. I think there's an argument to be made that this could be like a flat spot for Toronto tonight. So if that's the case, which who knows if it is or not, typically it's the young guys that still like come out and play regardless of that. So I would want to be involved with him mainly because I think that third line is going to be flying regardless. Holmberg though has goals in 3 of his last 5, I believe. He's playing with Nylander and Tavares. So again, you're getting a guy like almost plus 500 playing with those guys. I don't know. I think they're both worth a shot if you're looking at Toronto plays. Let's put it that way. Obviously, there's no value on their money line or puck line or anything like that. So I'd rather sprinkle like a quarter unit on each of them than do anything else. Let's put it that way.
I like it. Yeah, I have nothing in this game too. So maybe I will hop on that. You guys good ahead of the last game here? Last game of the night. Chicago versus Los Angeles. Chicago plus 215, LA minus 265, total set at 5.5, minus 120 to the over. The debut of Spencer Knight in a Chicago Blackhawk uniform. Assuming everyone's on his shutout tonight, correct? Don't sound too excited here.
Of course, right?
Oh man.
Again, this is another one where it's like, should a team ever be this crazy as far as the price, right?
Plus LA's on a 3-game that crazy.
No, LA's on a 3-game losing streak. Chicago 1-5 in their last 6, but they did win their last game against the Mighty Ducks 6-3. A bunch of decent shots on goal look here, but Knight saves. Okay.
So typically this is that like storyline that guy getting his first start, usually it's for like a guy from the AHL, but like a guy getting his first start, the team in front of him usually plays better. I don't know if Chicago has the ammunition to play better, play well. We know the Kings stink on the road though. I mean, they're night and day pretty much between their home road splits, but I don't know. It's tough. The one play I did lock in is Connor Murphy blocks.
Yep.
With my man Adam earlier today. That was the first thing we were talking about like this morning at like 7 a.m. But yeah, man, and it's funny because it's kind of moved against us. We locked in 2.5 at minus 135. I see DK's down to minus 120 for 2.5. So grab that number for sure. Don't grab the minus 135. I don't even know if that's available anymore at this rate. So, but we're laddering them all the way up to 5. So 4.
He has 5 and 6 in his last 2.
Yeah, I mean 2 games without Jones. You know what I mean? And he's already kind of stepped up. So I want to hop on that before it's too late. The Kings, we know, fire the puck a ton. So yeah, and the Kings, I mean, they got to keep winning if they want to stay in this fight for that division. Really, I mean, they're still in it. So Yeah, take me all the way up to 5. At 5, it goes up to plus 425. So I think he's going to be taking a lot of puck tonight. Let's put it that way.
I like it a lot. And he's a road dog, too. Philip Deneau over 1.5 shots on goal. It makes me nervous that this line's only minus 105. He's hitting 4 of his last 5. 4 of his last 5, hitting 6 of his last 7. Against Chicago, he's hit in 6 of his last 7. At home, hitting 4 of his last 5, but on the road, that might be the issue of concern here. 50% on the road, at home, 56%. Chicago allows the most shots on goal to forwards in their last 10.
Not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's bettable at 1.5. So
yeah, which I guess almost gives me some pause to it of why is it only minus 105 tonight?
I don't know. I mean, because Connor Murphy's gonna block them all. It's my only explanation.
Betsky, any looks for you in this one?
Hell no.
Really? You're off?
No. I don't like betting either of these teams. So yeah.
That's fair. All right.
This feels like an under. I mean,
yeah.
Right? If it's a letdown spot for the Kings on the road, then they're not scoring. And Chicago sure as hell isn't scoring 3 or 4 goals, right? So
especially against the Kings.
the under kind of feels good. You know, if they come out and
Sure.
Knight, you know, they help Knight as much as they can, block as many shots as possible. Under 5.5 is plus money. I don't know. Maybe that's the way you go.
27.5 saves. That's his line tonight.
Can the Kings put up 28 shots?
Maybe.
Yeah.
26 against St. Louis, 31 against Dallas, 26 against Vancouver, 19-26 since the break. So they've only hit that number once.
Yeah. I don't know. Like Michael scored already. Damn, that game's already going?
Yeah. We just did the segment.
No, but usually
I just made us re-preview everything.
Drop at 6:40 on the dot.
No, we're not doing this. I was a good host there, and I re-previewed that game, made sure everyone get their bets in. So don't do this. Don't act like you're shocked now that the game started. I said it started.
I'm just shocked that it started at the time.
Like Michael scored.
No,
I'm just shocked
point.
it started at the actual time. Usually it takes 10 more minutes.
It did. It's 11 past.
10 more after 6:40. You know.
It was supposed to start at 4:30.
6:30, and then it starts at actually 6:40.
Whatever, man.
When has a game ever been scheduled at 6:40?
I don't know. This is ridiculous.
They're warming me up for the time zone change. What's going on?
You're ridiculous.
They're saying, get ready. Get ready. Life's about to be hell again.
Can I interest you in an Alex Lafreniere goal? He has goals in 3 of 4 against them for some reason. He hates this
Lafreniere?
Laferriere.
There you go.
Did I say Lafreniere?
You did.
Oh, God damn it. I'm usually pretty good about that one.
I'm out.
4 goals in 4 games, but has hit in 3 of 4. So he had a 2-goal game last time against them. I don't know. I'm just trying to find shit at this point.
Why? There's 5 great games.
Oh boy, it might be coming back.
This is definitely not the game to bet on tonight. Let's put it that way.
No. All right, let's put together a parlay here. We got 5
Michael
games.
has 3 shots already.
Nah.
Yeah.
Get the.
He played for the London Knights, but don't they play at Toronto's arena? I know that they're London and Toronto are closed.
Dang. All right.
I don't know.
Parlay pieces. What do we got here?
Brady Tkachuk and OV shots.
Game already started. Connor McMichael shots.
Yeah, Connor McMichael up to 5.
Dang, since we can't do that.
Sammy at 1.5. We like that, right?
Yeah, I'm on him quite a bit. Somebody's got a fucking poltergeist going on.
Yeah, I didn't know how much that was picking up, but someone's running around
being
upstairs.
swatted right now.
Yeah. Get behind those curtains.
Oh my god!
I guess that's the show then. Yeah.
It's
you know what?
mayhem
You
in the
know
Franco house.
one that I'm not on very heavily yet is Darlene Point.
I thought you were gonna say Josh Anderson goal.
No, I've taken them everywhere I can.
All right, give me Seth Jones 2 shots for the parlay. How about that?
Ooh, yeah, I like that
because I haven't bet it yet. So
okay. I
like Paul Mary at 2 quite a bit.
Suzuki at 2.
I do too. I like both of those.
Suzuki
at 2 and Paul Mary at 2. Seth Jones 2, Suzuki 2, Paul Mary at 2. That is
and then
plus
Darlene Point
354 on DraftKings.
Yeah, add Darlene Point. Screw it. Yeah, get in there. Let's get some more value here.
Darlene Point. Okay.
We're trusting the Sabres. Come on.
Why?
Gator.
Why?
Because they're trustworthy.
Yeah. Darlene is. He's the only good player on that team.
We don't need to be mean now. Like, that was uncalled for.
There's plenty of good players on that team. They're just not going to play good on that team.
They're just not going to be there much longer.
Yeah.
They're going to get traded away so we can rebuild.
Which
How long
team
will
is
the
going to be able
rebuild
to soak up the second phase of the Buffalo rebuild since Florida took the first?
This show's stupid.
Oh, that's actually great. I like that. That's a good idea.
What?
Who will be the next, like...
Philly has...
We
Chicago
could take on
probably take on quite a bit.
How long will this rebuild go? Like, I think they should go for like a new high score at this point, Buffalo. Of just missing
probably
the
until
playoffs.
Buffalo moves to New Orleans and becomes the Jazz.
Gators like I hate
LA
you.
took
we
our
didn't say
basketball
that.
team. Yeah,
today. So
yeah. Let's let's kick the Sabres while they're down. Real tough guys. Yeah, look at you, big boys. Yeah, sick.
Yeah, I've already gone through the whole cycle. So
yeah.
Hey, more money is coming
All right.
in on the Islanders for some reason. The Rangers are down to minus 108. I don't get it. I don't know what the hell's going on.
I don't get it.
I don't know who what sick person is betting the Islanders, but
Brock Nelson's 900th game. It's the tipping point here. Yeah. All right, what was this thing again?
So parlay for the night: Seth Jones 2+ shots on goal, Kyle Palmieri 2+ shots on goal, and then this is a same game parlay included into that of Rasmus Dahlin 1 point and Nick Suzuki 2+ shots on goal. That comes out to plus 640 on DraftKings Sportsbook. New customers can get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 using promo code THPN. Any other thoughts on tonight's slate, guys?
No, I think we did.
Dubois point came in, so
yeah,
I offered you that. I'm just giving you gifts tonight too, and you're saying
he
no.
Scored
thank you.
too.
We know that
Dubois
I hate money,
2
guys.
Points.
Yeah.
Yep, he just scored.
Dubois has 2 points.
At least the Ottawa players are going to start shooting now. That's 2-0, right? Is that how it works?
Jensen has 1. Yeah.
I like to mention stuff and then not bet it because I hate money like that. This has been a known fact.
That's our after show of
If I don't bet it, if I say it on the show and I don't bet it, you should definitely take it because it's going to hit.
That's fair. All right. We want to thank everyone for tuning in to today's episode. Our most live viewers ever, over 2,200. So
awesome.
Pretty crazy. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for the comments. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Expected Bets 4, and be sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify as well. We will be back Wednesday breaking down that slate and Thursdays. So once more, we really appreciate everyone for tuning in, and we will talk to you guys then. Have a good one.